Today we are taking a look at Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from the Return of the Jedi. Let's check it out. What is going on, you guys? It's Chris, aka the Nerd Dad, and welcome back to another lightsaber review. If this is your first time on the channel, we talk about all things nerdy, especially Star Wars. So grab a drink and grab a snack, and let's get right into it. Today we're taking a look at Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from the Return of the Jedi, sent to us from our friends over at Vader Sabers. Now, let me get this out of the way now. It's not an exact replica of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, but it's more of a budget-friendly, inspired lightsaber. Vader Sabers actually have more options when it comes to Luke's lightsabers, but I wanted to go with this one because for the price, it was definitely worth it. Now, this hilt is running the brand new Xenopixel V3 soundboard that allows a few more features compared to the V2. The biggest upgrades have to be the accent swings and the Bluetooth capabilities. Before we get to the hilt, let's see what we get with the box. First, I opted to spend a little bit more money on the combination flight case that definitely kept all the content safe while shipping. Plus, I actually don't have one and I actually really wanted one. In the case, you're going to get a set of white gloves. You get a USB-C charger, an instruction manual, an Allen key with a set of retention screws, an acrylic sound that looks just like this when you put it together, a 32-inch Neopixel blade, and an extended emitter that gives you an extra inch of blade depth, but a little more on that later. Now, like I said, it is running the new Xenopixel V3 soundboard, and to access the board is very simple. Simply just unscrew the pommel and simply just pull out the chassis. On one side of the chassis, you'll find the Xenopixel soundboard with a micro SD card, and if you're not aware, the Xenopixel V3 and as well as the V2, you're actually able to add and remove fonts to actually customize it to your liking. It's actually a very, very simple process, but if you guys don't know how to do it, let me know. I might make a tutorial. Let me know in the comments. On the other side of the chassis, you'll find the 18650 lithium-ion battery, as well as the USB-C recharge port, conveniently located at the bottom of the chassis. And finally, at the bottom of the chassis, you'll find yourself what looks to be a 22mm speaker. It's actually pretty loud. Now, as I mentioned, the Xenopixel V3 now supports Bluetooth via the Xeno Configuration app. That gives you full control of your lightsaber with your Apple devices like your iPhone or your iPad. Well, sort of. Unfortunately, the app isn't all that great. It definitely has a bunch of connection issues that makes the use of the app just kind of useless. I noticed that in order for the app to work perfect, your device and your lightsaber needs to be within inches of each other just to make a solid connection. But once the connection has been made, the app does work pretty well. But any movement of your device can cause it to disconnect, and you'll have to reconnect the Bluetooth all over again. You can see that any movement I made causes the connection to drop, and I had to reestablish a connection. If you manage to get a good connection, you'll be able to take advantage of the app's features like changing fonts, blade styles, or colors, blast of deflects, lockup, or even just my personal favorite, gives you the ability to update not just the app firmware, but the firmware on the actual lightsaber itself. That's the game changer, but updating the firmware would be the only reason why I would use this app. I'll say the one thing I actually dislike about the lightsaber itself is the blade plug. A lot of these manufacturers include these generic blade plugs that doesn't fit the hilt nor make it screen accurate, but with this blade plug, it just looks terrible and silly if you ask me. But I managed to find this blade plug that looks 100 times better. It's a little big, but with some sanding, I'm sure I can make that work. Now, I mentioned that the hilt comes with an extended emitter. I've noticed that a few higher-end lightsaber manufacturers started doing this with their thin neck hilts, and the purpose of that allows the blade some more blade depth so that the blade doesn't go flying when you're swinging it around. You can see the display emitter, there's not much blade depth available. As I insert my little test blade, you can see a lot of wobble and it would just simply fall right out. That's where the extended emitter comes in handy. Just simply unscrew the display emitter. Once you removed it, go ahead and screw on the new emitter. This process can take some time due to the long threads. You can see here the difference between having such a shallow blade depth compared to having an extra inch of depth. At first, I wasn't a fan of the design, but the shallow emitter is more meant for display, and to be honest, it's not like I'm picking up my sabers every day, so it's not a big deal. Now, taking a closer look at the actual lightsaber itself, you can see it's not fully chromed out, but it does show some fingerprints when you're using it a lot. It does have that nice thin neck there. It's not like copper, or again, not accurate to the movie, but it does have a nice color. Something I would imagine that it would look like when it's brand new. Now, the clamp card there does slide back and forth there, kind of like what you would have seen in the deleted scene from The Return of the Jedi. There is no function to it, but it's there. On the side of the clamp card there, you're going to see the red and the green triangle there, and it does illuminate when you're using the lightsaber itself. It doesn't have the accurate, sequences that it does in the movie, but having those accent LEDs in there is actually really nice and definitely a great touch. Towards the bottom, you are going to get the triangle ring there in case you are cosplaying and you want to link it to your belt. It is there for you. It's not loose, it's not too tight, but it's definitely sturdy, and I don't see that falling off anytime soon. Now, my final thoughts on the hilt. Yeah, to be completely honest, the app sucks, and if my phone needs to be right next to the hilt, it kind of makes it useless. It's only worth using for tweaking settings like the volume or even just changing sensitivity in either the smooth swing or the flash on clash. And of course, any future updates that we may get. It eliminates you having to remove the SD card and plug it into your computer and manually updating the firmware on your board. But besides that, I don't see any other use for the app. Yes, again, it's not the most accurate Luke Skywalker lightsaber, but again, if you're on a budget and you really don't care about accuracy, this is such a great option for you. For $289, you're getting a ton of features that it would normally cost well over $400 on a more higher end hilt. If you want to save yourself some more money, actually use the code NERDDAD5 at checkout to save yourself 5% on any of your future purchases. I'd like to thank Vader Sabers once again for shipping out this beauty to me. Now, I did purchase this on my own, but they did immediately ship this out to me the following morning, and I received it within a week of placing my order. Vader Sabers continues to produce not just fast shipping, but impeccable customer service on a daily basis, and I honestly can't thank them enough for that. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it useful in any way, please like, comment on this video because it does tell YouTube I make fun and interesting videos. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel as I plan to release more nerdy videos for you guys in the coming weeks. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you.